So Richard,
Yep.
we're looking at your calf rearing system.
Yeah.
Tell me, just give me, I suppose, first of all, give me an idea what you're doing here.
Yeah, sure. Look, I suppose we're on a robotic lily system here now, so we're calving cows kind of all year round because it works well for our type of system with the robotics. So yeah, we'd be rearing calves all year round. So we start them off inside and kind of in an isolation unit inside on a lamp after they're born, and get as much colostrum into them as we can within the first. Yeah, well, look, it sets them up for life, and look, we are vaccinating for the rotavirus and the crypto, so it's important to get that colostrum into them like in the first hour if you can. And so just give them a good start, get them dry them off well with the heat lamps, and then get the jackets on them then, and they kind of just we walk away there and get them a good start. And
so all the calves are getting the heat lamp at the
they
start?
would, yeah. We try and we take them off the mothers pretty quick after calving. I just don't like them with them too long for picking up different in diseases or whatever. So they get to lick the calf for an hour or two, and then there'll be a cow will be milked and calf will be fed, and get him going that way. So get him going, and then in individual pens then maybe for the first 2-3 weeks. And when they kind of get going, then we start grouping them then. And when they kind of get really hard, anything, we'd bring them outside then. So we're here outside, and
you group them inside first.
We'd group them inside just to kind of get them used to, and then they kind of stay in that batch. Then that batch will come out then, and they come outside then. We're just this is a work in progress. I suppose there's no system right or wrong. We're just trying to see what system works for us, but definitely this year we've seen a big improvement in calf health since coming fully outside with them. Like we just felt indoors, just getting little bits of maybe problems, and maybe our shed wasn't designed in a way for calf rearing, and we were just getting bits of pneumonias and just calves just not performing as like any calf that gets a setback, just it stands to them afterwards, and they don't thrive. So no, like we've seen a big improvement in calf health now since we've got them outside. And like, look, you still get an odd calf with maybe a bit of an ear down or looking a bit sorry for themselves, but give them maybe a quick shot there, and they get over it a lot faster.
The recovery period is quicker.
It is, yeah.
They're kind of climatised into, I suppose, outdoor living as well. Like, they're.
Yeah.
So it's your ventilation and airflow and everything's keeping diseases away.
Sure, that's it. Yeah, it's definitely a healthier environment. Look, we had single hutches there for years, and we worked with them, but look, they are quite labour intensive. But look, anything that works for the calf is going to be labour intensive anyway. You have to think of the calf's environment is more important than your own. I know you're out in the weathers and you have to deal with that, but look, we're trying to figure out what system to go ahead going forward. Some sort of maybe a canopy structure that would just maybe lean to, that you'll be kind of protecting yourself a little bit from the elements, but yet having fresh air overhead is definitely important, just to keep the airflow right. And no, look, the calves are very cosy inside. You might think they're going to be cold and whatever, but like with the jackets on them, or these calves are about 6 weeks old now, so like we take the jackets off when they get kind of a bit of hair up in their back, they can fend for themselves. So no, they're doing very well now.
They're exceptional,
they're
6 weeks. They're massive.
They're big calves. They might be a few weeks older now. They're actually nearly weaned now. They'll be moved on out to another shed after here, and there'll be another batch coming out.
And tell me, the weaning, are you on a set protocol of 12 weeks or 10 weeks, or are you?
Not really. Look, I suppose we kind of batch calves. Look, age, I suppose you have a certain group, but more size than anything. Like we are running a kind of a Holstein type of a calf, so they tend to be quite big. But you will get the odd maybe smaller calf. Might need an extra week or two just on a bit of milk, so you kind of batch them to size more so than age. And that way, when you have the different units, you can do that. You have the option to hold the calf back a bit and let the other ones go on.
So you're looking really at size and weight.
That's it. Yeah, I know when you see a calf at a good size and weight, they're on it. Look, and eating plenty of concentrates and forage.
Which is good. There's a big thing there in farming. We can't do calendar farming.
No.
We're working off weight and working off size.
Sure, that's it. Yeah. It isn't all about just age. Like, sure, it's like anything. Everybody, develops differently. Like your calf develops at its own stage, so you have to give them a chance to mature. But like, no, it is. It's nice to see them out and about now. Look, the weather is obviously a big part to play.
Yes.
And just keep them a good a
and
good
even
place.
with all the wet weather we've got,
Yeah.
how are you finding the outdoor living? I suppose a bit more bedding maybe.
Sure, look, a little bit, yeah. You might get a little bit of blowing rain or whatever. Like, if you do get a week's dry weather there, which I think we had over Christmas there, it was maybe nearly 2 weeks it didn't rain, and it was just maybe colder and drier. And like they were as snug as could be inside there and dry and cozy. Like so, look, as I said, we're trying to maybe work on maybe some sort of a rain deflector or something, like just a bit of a roof over this. It would just minimise a little bit of extra moisture getting into the bed, but.
I was looking forward to maybe you're thinking maybe of going to automatic feeding with the outdoor living.
Yeah, sure. That's it. Look, we have an automatic calf feeder there, which we've been trying to use, which is a good machine too. It does take the labour intensity out of feeding calves, but you're kind of restricted in where you can put it. So we had it in a shed, and we've had it in different sheds, but it's not the feeder's fault. I know it's our environment is wrong. So like in time, we will try and maybe incorporate the hutch type system, that they're semi-outdoors, but yet they could be maybe feed inside in the station. So like we're looking to maybe develop that in time, that we could try and still work with the same environment, try and keep the calves outside as much as possible, but yet we could feed them maybe indoors.
Like in fairness overall, calves look healthy.
No, they are healthy. Look, and as you say, like you have to hit the ground running. You know, you can't really afford for a calf to get much of a setback, because it'll stand to them later on, and you'll be wondering why calves aren't thriving. But it's just sheer down to health.
The animal you have too, like high litres, high volume.
They're a hybrid type of an animal. They're a high performing. Their dams would be quite an extreme Holstein. So like the genetics would say that, like, that they're quite leggy and lean. Like there wouldn't be much cover on them. Like, but look, in fairness, we are happy with the cover on them. Look. They'd be getting up to 10 litres of milk a day now. They would be drinking up to 5 litres in morning and evening. So
whole milk or powder?
Powder milk, yeah. They'd be on powder milk, yeah. We would try and minimise the amount of whole milk just to keep them on the.
And how would you find, say, up to 10 litres? Do you find any digestive upsets or anything like that?
No problems. You can see even by their dungs there, like they're grubbing well on the concentrate, but like you don't see any.
Extending to them.
It is, yeah. No, they're retaining it. Like they're not firing it out the back. So it's obviously it is going into them, and it's helping them to grow and to mature. So. And
tell me, when calves are finishing up here, you're kind of weaning them here. And are they moving to outdoors, out to the field, or are they going back into a shed?
Well, at the moment, this time of the year, they will be just go back into another shed. Now, it's an open enough, airy shed too. We try and keep doors open and whatever. But like, I think a lot has to be said from here. Like when they don't get any problems at calves, we found that in the past. If they get a problem as a calf, and you treat them and they get going again, and you maybe put them into an environment that maybe mightn't be just, it comes back to kind of haunt them again. Because they never, but like here, when they get that good start, they seem to cope better with bigger groups,
And look, coming back to your type of cow again, if you get set back as a calf, you're going to see it inside.
You will, yeah. When you're like as we've even found since we went outdoor, and calves are rare. Like we're trying to even AI heifers replacements, like, and we're looking at them thinking they're ready to AI and they're only 12 and 13 months old. They're just they're not ready and they're not old enough.
So they have the size there.
They have the sizes there, so like it's a great advantage. You can just get that breeding cycle going a bit quicker, like
less labour overall on the system you're on at the moment. Happy with it.
It's working well. Like David, well designed now. Like you can stay outside the pen for all your needs, milk and water and feed. And bedding even in the back door is a great advantage now compared to maybe
in the front. Like that shows that they're actually in the back. You're not worried about it.
So you've got even to get in there now if you want to jump in, or do anything. You can you could just jump in and out the back door there. So it's very convenient there. So you can throw in your bedding there along the back. So
No, that's good. That's good.
But like that, you're just and like the way they're designed, like there's plenty of airflow going through, and they get good. You can kind of, and like that's the type of weather we're on. Like you looked the other day.
Yes.
Sure, it's so warm and stuffy. You could nearly open them up and put the bar across, and you could let the air. If it is a warm, smuggy day, but like if you have a cold west wind coming in, you can close them down or whatever, and just it gives them a nice cozier environment. So
you have your options.
You have exactly. But look, they're lying down here and they won't get the drafts anyway. Like if the air will it just keeps changing the air. So. Whereas you're in a shed, you have a lot more kind of, it's just hard to kind of keep the fresh air coming in and keep it moving. They're a little bit more exposed here, but at least it's keeping the airflow, like,
keep track of it.
Yeah. Look, there's always improvements to be made, like. We can
just
just keep monitoring them and keep them Yeah, no, look, they're very easy to work with, and
Yeah.
you can easily clean them out then as well. Like, you know, you could just slide forward your frame and put a gate across and just pick off your hutch with the prong and clean away the dung and drop them back. Sure, 10 minutes there, you'd have them all. You'd have it cleaned out and done.
Yeah.
But no, look, they're well laid out that way. So look, we'll look forward to working with him now in the future and
see how you get on with them.
see how we go with him. Yeah.
Add the things to them as we go along.
Exactly. Yeah. I know. Look, sure, healthy calves is the secret. So look, you just try and keep their the calves going right, and sure, look, you'll be.
Yeah. Your future, I suppose.
Which that's it. Yeah. No, you want to hit the ground running now and keep them going and have no setbacks. But like, even look at the rain, they're nearly coming down. Like, they're not even bothered about it.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem to affect them. Like, and you might think that they're. No, it doesn't. You know, but you look, a calf suckling a cow out in the field.
Exactly,
they're you're kind of keeping that environment.
Yeah, the healthiest calf in the country.
Sure, they are. Sure, like they thrive. They thrive a lot better. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's working so good so far anyway. So
Brilliant. No, that's good.
very good, yeah. No bother.
All good.
Yeah.